Good morning. This is Fayme Harper, and now I'm going to do part 2 of the printmaking with found objects. And I couldn't wait to glue my stuff down today. And I was going to glue it on wood, but when you have a creative flow, you don't want to interrupt it by quitting for a day or two because you can't find things. I know I've got wood somewhere, but right away I had this foam core laying around, so I used that for my mounting blocks. Here are some of my items, and I used a craft glue designed for gluing down beads because I know it's going to hold these heavier things. So I've got some with safety pins in different patterns, my clothespin, my headband, yarn in 2 different ways. These hair elastics were new, but they wouldn't fit in my hair, so rather than just waste them, I used them on this. I glued down my bottle cap, and this is glue and this is glue. I don't know if you can see that pattern. Once that dries, it's going to make an interesting texture, and I'll show you when I print it what that looks like. And now I want to find my bin with my eraser carving things in it so I can show you some about the eraser carving your own stamps. And I found this pencil. I'm going to carve the eraser. I found my eraser carving tools, and my tools of choice are lino zips. It's a pull towards you cutter, and I've never cut myself with it, and I like my hands, so I've always recommended these. I don't think most carvers use these, though. I think they use the typical pushing kinds or X-Acto knives, which are way too easy to cut yourself with. I found some more of my ink, which is good. A whole box of erasers. But I'm going to carve that peace sign one I showed you yesterday to show you what I meant. Now remember, when you're making stamps, everything gets reversed, so if you're carving letters, you have to do them backwards. Here is an address stamp I carved, and as you can tell, the letters are backwards. So when I ink it and flip it over and stamp it, it reads the right way around. And if you make a big mistake, you can always use it as an eraser. I'm going to carve a positive stamp and a negative stamp out of these 2 matching erasers. For the first one, I'm going to use this little V-shaped cutter, and I'm going to cut out all of the green. So I'm going to get that done and show you what that looks like. Now remember, with carving, everything you remove will not print, and everything that's left in its original condition will print. So this is a positive stamp, meaning the image I want is going to be the raised surface. So you can do the math. If I got 12 erasers for $1, then I can have 12 hand-carved stamps for $1. I mean, what a deal. And that's not even the best part. The best part is the instant gratification you get, almost instant, from being able to carve exactly the design you want. And as you may have noticed, most rubber stamp stores are really G-rated. So if you want something that's not bunnies and teddy bears, it's kind of hard to find it commercially. Whereas you can go home and you can carve a stamp that says whatever your little heart desires. Now I'm going to switch to the bigger cutter to get the border off. You know, a lot of people out there brag about being self-taught artists, and I'm happy to say I am not a self-taught artist. I've had many wonderful teachers, and I've read many wonderful art books, and I've learned from other students. And I consider them all my teachers. Alright, I'm carving away here. I think I need the small one for this part again. I had to go put my glasses on to see the fine details because I couldn't make them out. I think I about have it licked now, so one more inking. And one more proofing. we go. Peace, baby. Now I'm going to make the negative image stamp, and for that I'm going to carve out the blue instead of the green. Here's my negative stamp. It looks like I got most of the blue, so sometimes it helps to turn them upside down and rub them like this, and it gets rid of any little pieces of plastic still hanging on there. Then I'm going to ink it all up, and that helps me to see what I've missed. See, I can see a little bit of green on there. I can see I missed a piece right here on the border, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. And you can see it's the negative image where the background is printed and the foreground is not. I'll clean that up a little. Alright, I think I've done a little better job on it now. There we go. So I've got the two different piece stamps right there. Ten more erasers left. Oh, what to do, what to do. I don't need, of course, 12 stamps that have peace signs. So here's what you do. You take a marker. I like Sharpie. It's a permanent marker. And you draw your own design on there. I've decided, since it's Yule, I would draw a little tree. Can you see it on there? Now I have a choice. Either make a positive stamp by cutting away the background, or make it a negative stamp by cutting away the tree. And I think I will make a positive stamp. So I picked my little outline tool, and I'm just going to trace the lines. Cut it all out. Now I'm going to switch to the almost C-shaped cutter and go ahead and take care of the background. This removes more material. I've got most of it carved, and I'm going to go ahead and ink it to see what I missed. It looks like I got most of it. So, we'll do a little, oops, I'll leave a grip on it there. Not too bad. Just going to have to clean it up a little. So you can use that to decorate your Christmas cards or your envelopes or whatever you like, your gift wrap. Now suppose you wanted to do your initial. So I'm going to draw it backwards. Okay, there's my F for Fayme, and I also like that red border, so I'm going to try to keep that. So I outlined the red border, and then I have to outline the letter, and then everything else gets removed with the bigger tool. Remember, you can always take away, but you can't add back, so I'm going to go slow. And I like the border, but if I printed it and didn't like it, I could cut it off then. I'm ready to ink it up and see how I did. So let's go with the red. And see how it looks. Now, usually with a not bad. Usually with an initial stamp, I don't forget to put it around the right way, carve it backwards in other words. It's with the address stamps like this one that I will think I did it fine, and I'll print it and find out I got one of the A's backwards or one of the C's backwards. So it gets trickier when you have more letters. Now here's an example of a happy mistake. At the bottom of the F, I haven't gotten around to cutting off the bottom level like I had drawn it. See how the dark is drawn that way? But if you look at the print, the bottom is curved because I cut that line to keep the border, but I like the way it's curved, and it goes better than if I had just cut it straight across. So I'm going to leave that. So as I went along, I made an artistic decision, and don't forget, you know, you're the artist. You can change it anytime you want. There we go. Not bad at all. As far as carving, thick, bold designs work out much better for hand-carved stamps. As you get better, you can add more intricate details, but it really is just made for bold images. Don't forget to index your stamp so you know what it is later. Just going to draw an F on there. And usually I sign and date my stamps in 2010. And you can even add a copyright symbol if you think you're going to be selling your images.